This is Dr. Shweta Patel, Horizon West OBGYN and OBGYN in Winter Garden. Today's topic or Facebook Live topic is about how to kind of break through that plateau in weight loss, particularly when you're not in your 20s anymore. When I say that, I mean, when you're younger, we find it like a lot easier to lose weight. You can even maybe just skip a meal and you'll actually see that you've lost a pound or two. Or if you are not eating as well, it doesn't hit you as quickly. I remember pulling an all-nighter in college and studying and not having time to eat, and I have easily lost like 5 pounds, or even going on a cruise and having the all-you-can-eat and having really bad food and not exercising for a week and not having gained any weight. And it just seemed like my body was a lot more resilient to poor eating and a lot quicker to respond to good eating habits and exercise. And then as we get into our 30s and then of course into our 40s, it becomes challenging, and especially when you are in your premenopause or approaching menopause age, 50s and 60s, it is extremely challenging to get the same kind of effect. A lot of my patients will ask me like, why am I gaining weight? I'm not doing anything different. I'm eating the same, I'm exercising the same, and yet somehow I'm gaining weight. When you think about it though, your metabolism is declining. So even if you're eating the same and even if you're exercising the same, your body no longer needs that much nutrition in terms of calories, and your body is no longer burning as many calories doing the same exercise. And so that's why it's slowly creeping up on you. And people who are even exercising and eating well and creating a caloric deficit are still having a hard time with weight loss. And that's again because your body is now under a different kind of hormonal balance. Think of it as if your body was a thermostat. It's adjusted to your new age and your new stress levels and your new hormone levels. And so in order to get it out of that steady state of I'm just the way I am, you have to kind of have a little bit more of a shock to your system in order to truly start having weight loss again. And that's not easy to achieve. And particularly when you are already exhausting yourself. I have patients who are working out every day. They work out almost an hour every day. They are eating less than 1,000 calories. And these are not things I'm recommending to them per se, but these drastic measures, and yet they are somehow not losing a single pound. One patient was doing that and even actually gained weight. And the reason is we are excellent at adapting to our environment. It's a survival mechanism. So once our body figures out that this is how much exercise we're doing every day, it starts to use less and less energy to accomplish the same amount of work. That's beautiful, right? If you think about it, if our cars did that, we wouldn't be worried about our gas prices right now. But since we keep adapting, no amount of exercise or no amount of dietary restriction is ever going to continue to have the same result. Otherwise, we would disappear. Essentially, we just keep losing weight according to our dietary changes, and then poof. But since that doesn't happen, fortunately, the way you have to overcome your body's ability to survive is to constantly change what you're doing, and so that your body is in a constant state of adaptation. My particular favorites are things like intermittent fasting. If you're someone who is following a regimen of eating multiple small meals a day, or if you are someone who is eating not that many calories and you're eating them in small portions throughout the day, or even just 1 or 2 meals, but if your body is constantly being exposed to nutrition, it is going to have a different response to it than if it feels like it's in a state of famine. And going back to what I was saying earlier is it adapts to one or the other. So if you are starving all day long, then your body's going to adapt to that too and stop using as many calories. If you're eating all day long, your body is going to adapt to that and say, hey, life is good. We've got nutrition coming in all the time. Let's store it up and put it in stockpiles on our derriere. So intermittent fasting works really well because you are essentially letting your body think you're starving all day, and it's starting to use up all of its quick sugar and quick stores of energy. And then you actually eat so that it has to forget that it's in starvation mode, and it doesn't use less calories. It doesn't adapt to your efforts, so that you're still burning a good amount of calories. You're still revving the engine, but you're not starving yourself. You can eat the same amount of calories you would otherwise, but if you eat them in a smaller window of time, you're actually going to have a better response to your weight loss efforts. Another thing is making sure that you are doing weights. Women especially are a little apprehensive of doing weightlifting because of the the concern that they're going to bulk up. I will let you know that personally speaking, I have a tendency to put on muscle a lot more in my lower part of my body than in my upper part of my body. But even with that being said, putting on muscle takes a lot of work. In case in point, ask any bodybuilder. You have to actually really put in effort into building muscle. So when women are worried that as soon as they start lifting a 5-pounder, they're going to suddenly pop a bicep, not really the case. However, by actually increasing your body's muscle content, you are turning your body into a gas guzzling car. Instead of the Toyota Prius that it's become, you're turning it into that Ford F-150. So now going even a mile is going to cost you more calories if you are with more muscle on your body than if you are without muscle. And so a great way to start or shock your system into actually burning more calories is eat the normal number of calories you're normally eating and do weightlifting. Build muscle or strengthen your muscle masses or muscle groups that you already have. And then after a cycle of maybe 2 or 3 months of doing that, then cut your calories sharply and minimize your weightlifting. But your body now is used to burning like 2,500 calories a day, and now you're only feeding it 1,200 calories a day, and it's not able to compensate, so it has to actually drop the fat. Of course, this goes without being said, but I'm going to say it anyways. These are all generalized recommendations, and my personal experiences with these have been very safe and very effective. But you should always take any of these discussions on Facebook Live with a grain of salt, that you should discuss them with your personal doctor. Make sure there's no any health conditions that may prevent you from trying them. Another important thing is we're always thinking we need to do a lot of cardio. Cardio is great in burning calories, but even after an hour and a half of cardio, you're burning probably about 400 to 500 calories in a day. If you have more muscle on you, you literally can burn that much just sleeping 8 hours in a night. So rather than making your body think it's in a constant state of, we're running from a lion because you're like constantly doing cardio, doing low intensity cardio, like a brisk walk for an hour, is better because you're still going to burn calories without throwing your system into that state of fight or flight. And by doing that, you're still burning calories. You're using those muscles you're building to burn calories, and you're not actually exerting yourself so much that you're going to be tired, need to eat more because you're feeling hungry because you're burning too many calories, and you're going to have, again, a better response in terms of breaking through that plateau. Other important things, make sure you're getting sleep. Going back to that state of fight or flight, if our body thinks it's in a comfortable, safe environment, it's going to be more likely to respond to your efforts. If it thinks that it's running away from a mountain lion, it's not going to waste time shedding pounds of fat off of itself. So if you are not getting enough sleep, chronically exposed to stress because you have all these deadlines that are due, you're sitting in traffic for hours and you're pounding the coffee, not getting enough water, not bothering to have sex or have an orgasm, these are all things that give your body the signal that things are okay, and that the exertion it's doing is not out of a effort to save itself. It's more of a, this is just how our body is. We're exerting, we're living our best life. So not throwing yourself in that cortisol state is very important when you are trying to lose weight as well. So hydrate, sleep well, go have sex, hopefully with people that you are already having sex with, or not, whatever. And then if you're still experiencing difficulty with weight loss, then you also want to make sure you are having a medical checkup done to see if your hormone levels may be off. And when I say that, I don't mean your estrogen level or your progesterone level as female hormones. I'm actually talking about hormone levels such as your vitamin D, your thyroid, checking to see if you are pre-diabetic, having your insulin levels checked, your hemoglobin A1C checked, making sure you are staying on top of what your cholesterol is, because you may have a genetic predisposition and you are trying to, go against what your body's natural programming is. Another thing is if you have a hormonal imbalance related to your ovarian function, such as a lot of my patients experience, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And that is actually a condition where, even though it has something to do with your ovaries and the way they ovulate, the hormonal imbalance that causes it and that is a result of it actually makes it very hard for a woman to lose weight. Paradoxically, weight loss is one of the main ways that you can actually correct this condition. So here you are trying to lose weight so you don't have a hard time to lose weight. Hard to make sense, right? So if you're feeling like you're not making any progress, you're hitting a wall with your goals, I would definitely say have a discussion with your nutritionist, with your trainer, with your doctor, or send me a message. And we can definitely kind of review your medical history to see if there's anything obvious that's preventing you from weight loss. And then make sure we come up with a detailed meal plan, detailed workout plan, to really kind of get your body to comply with what you are trying to do. All right. I hope everyone's getting ready to have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you guys on Monday. Thanks so much for listening.